For the last few years, the city of Fort Saskatchewan has had somewhat of a major push on to develop historical resources. Now that includes restoration of a couple of old buildings, the original courthouse and the CN rail station.
The arrival of the railroad was really what helped to make the community grow even more. So it's very important to our history. We became an agricultural hub, settlers moved here, so it's key to our history.
But the old CN station isn't in as much need of restoration as the original courthouse, built in 1909.
Well, the roof is good, but everything has to be inspected. So you got to look at the repointing of the brick. You got to look at the electrical.
The courthouse was built in 1909, and it was a courthouse up until the mid-60s. If you look on our map, it's actually called Government Street, and this was the courthouse on Government Street. It was also where Town Hall was and things like that. So it had a history of law and order, a history of government.
Now in Northwest Mounted Police Museum, the courthouse was constructed of brick produced from local clay. Restoration could take 10 years to complete. Fixing and keeping original windows and doors alone will cost $130,000. Replacing 1909-era wiring will be an important part of the plan.
The old knob and tube wiring really becomes a safety hazard after a while. You want to look to replace that, and you got to be somewhat invasive. You got to open up walls, but you've also got to close them up. It's not always been a courthouse, it's been lived in, so there has been changes done through the years which have to be undone during the restoration.
And there's the original rail building, built in 1905.
The reason why the Northwest Mounted Police actually picked Fort Saskatchewan is because they thought the railroad would cross here first. Our riverbanks are a little bit lower and easier to access, so Inspector Jarvis thought this was the location. He was wrong. The railroad hit Edmonton first, but it is really why Fort Saskatchewan began.
The building itself is in really good shape. But it needs some work and attending to being able to breathe so you can get some of the fresh air in and get the old air out.
Say, once you do all that work, how long can a building like this last in the future?
It'll outlast us. It will last a long time. You can bet these buildings can be, if properly maintained and looked after, hundreds of years. Hundreds of years.
The third protected site in Fort Saskatchewan is a field where the original Northwest Mounted Police Fort was situated.
It's protected by the province because of what might lie beneath. There might be artifacts from the Northwest Mounted Police. You may find the footings of a building or from the palisade wall, so that's protected by the province.
And there is more to come.
The next building, what we'll look at for restoration or to protect, is actually the Warden's House that was built in 1937, and it belonged to the jail that was here. We are going to go after municipal designation actually sometime this year.
All historic restoration projects require deep planning and careful workmanship at no small expense. And as we see, Fort Saskatchewan is making it happen. For Go Edmonton, I'm Tim Dancy.